In the heart of Dorset, which is in the southwest of England, set on a rolling hillside above the picturesque village of Cerne Abbas, there lies a 180-foot-tall, club-wielding giant made of chalk, carved into the land, which has long been regarded as a sign of fertility due to his 36-foot erect phallus. Even today, people having trouble conceiving can be found having fun on top of the giant, hoping for a miracle from his supposed magic powers of fertility. No one knows why or how he got there, or even who he's supposed to be, so once again I turn to my spirit team to see if they have any ideas. Does the Cerne Abbas chalk giant really have magical powers of fertility if people sit on his appendage or have sex upon it? Generations have speculated about the age and meaning of the club-wielding giant for many years. Thoughts surrounding who the giant is range from the legendary demi-god Hercules, an ancient fertility symbol, or even a parody of Oliver Cromwell, who was sometimes mocked as England's Hercules. Another theory is that the figure was carved around the body of a giant who was decapitated by local people when he fell asleep after he terrorized the countryside as a warning to other giants. There is some evidence that the giant may once have carried a cloak over his left arm and a severed head in his hand. Who is the giant supposed to represent? Some say it's Oliver Cromwell or the demigod Hercules, or even the outline of an actual giant who was killed by local people. Can you tell us if any of those is true? If not, who is the chalk giant supposed to be? Did the giant really hold a severed head and a cloak on his left arm early on? In 2021, after state-of-the-art sediment analysis, the National Trust archaeologists have concluded the giant was probably first constructed in the late Saxon period, between 700 and 1100 AD. This is not what was expected. Many archaeologists and historians thought he was prehistoric or post-medieval, but not medieval. Everyone was wrong. People have been rechalking the giant over a long period of time. The deepest sample from his elbows and feet shows he could not have been made before 700 AD, ruling out theories that he is of prehistoric or Roman origin. Nearby, Cerne Abbey was founded in 987 AD, and some sources think the abbey was set up to convert the locals from the worship of an early Anglo-Saxon god. The earliest documented record of the giant was in a church warden's account of repairing him in 1694. It was also discovered that the famous erection of the giant may have been drawn on hundreds of years later in the 17th century as an act of graffiti, as no records prior to then made any mention of it, and using laser scanners on the site revealed that the giant had previously been wearing a belt, which had now been interrupted by his penis. What century was the chalk giant in Cerne Abbas created? What century was the penis added to the giant, as it's not mentioned in any records prior to the 17th century? Was it added as a joke later on, or was it for another reason? The nearby abbey could be a key piece of evidence of why the chalk giant is there. The obvious contrast between a chaste Benedictine monastery and a new giant close by led some to speculate to some kind of rivalry between followers of a pagan deity as depicted by the giant and proponents of the Christian faith, with the abbey being established to convert local people from the worship of their nude idol. Such a theory does not stand up to scrutiny, though. The conversion of English pagans had been completed over 300 years prior to the establishment of the abbey in the 10th century. Was there any connection between the monastery and the giant? Did religion have anything to do with why the chalk giant was formed? With modern technology, we now know approximately when the giant was created, but despite that, by who and why the chalk giant was created is still unknown. There are many theories surrounding this mystery. Perhaps my spirit team can give us a few extra hints. Did the monks themselves create the chalk giant? Was it one person or a group of people that chalked the giant into the hill? What type of people originally chalked the giant on the hill? Was it farmers or local villagers maybe, or something else? Can you tell us why this giant was chalked into the hill? Is there anything else you can tell us about who or why the giant was put there, please?